your accountant, it's your attorney, it's your banker. That's who your board is, because you need to get advice from them in order to even get your doors open.
It's
You
kind of
need some legal structure,
Right.
and they haven't even looked or thought about all those kinds of things yet.
3 hours seems like a long time, but we have so much packed into that I'm going to be your, timekeeper tonight. Make sure you get your breaks, and we get all the guest speakers that we've invited tonight have an opportunity to talk to you. And how we're going to kick off tonight's workshop is with a very special presentation from Brett Thomas, who is one of our entrepreneurs in the class, and I'm going to leave the floor up to him.
You see, if you want to be successful, you must have faith. Yes. You must be persistent in what it is you do. You must go above and beyond. I know I sound like James Earl Jones.
My name is Brett Thomas, and my business is CB On Yourself Productions, limited liability company, doing business as Surefire Youth. And my AKA is the Golagosi Master, which means puppet teacher. It's a Ugandan word that I got from a college roommate named James Omidu, and I just took it and run with it. Had a real nice ring to it, the Golagosi Master.
What started me using social media is because I didn't have the money for all of this. I didn't have the money to run ads in the newspaper. I didn't have the money to run ads on radio. And when we first moved here, already having a business, I didn't know who my audience was yet. So once I knew who I was trying to attract, then I had to stalk them and figure out where they spend their time, and that's where I needed to go. For me, it was social media. That's what started me digging into it and really kind of getting in and experimenting. And I'm one of those people where I see a need and I get pissed about it and then I start a business. That's just kind of how I do. So I am here to talk about social media and to tell you that even though you are starting a business and you're already thinking about everything that you're going to have to do that comes with running that business, you also have another job. Your other job is running a media company. What do media companies do? Media companies create content. They push content out. And I know what y'all are thinking, well, what the heck is content? I don't even know what that is. Content is anything that you publish and disseminate out to people.
I'll be offering character building variety shows to include puppetry and music, short stories, and I tailor my shows to the consumer. And normally they want to talk about maybe bullying or sexting or abstinence or respect, honesty, faith, heritage. And I also sell t-shirts with the Surefire Youth logo on them.
So it's like a three-step process. It's figuring out what you want to write about, then writing it, then promoting that thing. But I mean, if you're already active in the industry, you could pay attention to what people that you follow are doing. That could give you a clue as to that. Not necessarily imitate them, but use them to inspire what you're going to do. Figure out how your approach to fitness is going to be different than the other person, and just get it out there. Just start creating content and then asking questions too. When you're talking to people, hey, what are you doing for this? And ask those questions and make note of everything. My notes app on my phone is full because everything, every conversation, every encounter is inspiration. So, by doing that, you're then giving your audience what they're looking for. So that kind of gives you a leg up. Because I just talked to John yesterday, and he was like, Monique, I can't find anything to take care of my hair. Right. So I'm going to go write that. I'm going to write that on and go, well, John said this. So you know what? This is the approach. This is how I'm going to answer John's question in this blog post. And if John's having that issue, somebody else is having that issue too. So you're literally putting the stuff in front of them when people are looking for it.
The mission is to broaden the minds and shape the futures of people through positive educational entertainment. And I also enjoy being an entrepreneur because of the freedom, when I can do what I want, when I want, where I want, with entrepreneurial freedom.
We get on the social media to connect or to look for information. So if you're there, well, not if, you're going to be there, you're there, your business is there, you're giving people what they might want to know about your thing. Tell them what to think about your thing. That is the only way that when it's time for you to say, okay, I've been talking to you guys about why this bag is awesome, and it's just the best thing, and it has a light, and it changes colors, and it does all of these things. Now it's available for sale. So I've heard about this bag for 9 months, and I've been seeing the content, and I've been seeing the manufacturing process, and I've been seeing all of that all of these months on Facebook. So when it's ready, I'm buying it. So create, curate, or you can have people contribute. You make your platform available for other people that want to do that stuff. If you don't want to do that, find somebody that does and let them do it on your platform. Because the intention is to build the know, like, trust, is to offer value, is to be useful for the people that you're eventually going to want to sell to.
The most useful information that I've learned so far is that people will not help you until you start to help yourself. You must take action on your dreams, and you see it in 3D, like in real time and real reality. People are living their dreams, and it's just a fun experience, a learning experience to rub elbows with the people who have been there and done that.
Forget about waiting for somebody to put you on their show. Create your own show. Produce your own show. You can do YouTube videos. You can get on Periscope every freaking day with a different character and introduce a different introduce a different character every single day. You can talk about your process. I was ready to record you just up here talking about the gold mask. All of that stuff is content that's going to show what you do in a different light to a different audience. So where you might only be thinking about the schools, but I run a youth group in Colorado, and I just saw your video on YouTube. I need to bring you to my church. Like, you don't even know how the stuff that you put out will shape how people see it. And when they can see themselves, or they can see your puppets in their place, in their space, that just opens up the world for you. So I definitely think, if nothing else, start creating videos now, because it's in the creating of the videos that you will see how your audience expands.
Some of these are symbiotic businesses. If they would just get together and talk about it, they could get a value-added product by getting together with somebody else that's in the class and increasing the ability to market that product, because it becomes more viable.
Right.
And they haven't stopped to think about, okay, what is it that I need? So instead of getting some IT support from outside, I team up with this other person and we go 50-50, and
I mean, before, when back in the days, telling my age, you only had the three networks, ABC, NBC, and CBS. That's it. TV went off at midnight, even before midnight. You know, when the TV's going off, you hear the national anthem, see the flag, snow. It's done. So you didn't have it. You had news only came on at 6 o'clock. Everybody was watching at 6 o'clock, and that was it. You got 24-hour news now. You have everything is 24 hours, anytime there. The other thing too is that a lot of people forget about. They always look at only marketing during premium times, prime time. Today's society, we have people working all types of hours. We always forget about our service people, our police officers, our ER people, even the grocery stores. Because before, the grocery stores only stayed open until 8 o'clock. Now they're midnight, and they have stocking between midnight and 7 in the morning. They're doing stocking. So these people are watching TV. When they get home, it's up. Where our daytime our nighttime is their daytime. So they're there watching TV at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. So they're watching TV, so you got to be able to get to those people as well. So you got to think outside the box.
Yes, I have set short-term goals and long-term goals The short-term goals are to create a following, create a massive following, and create a buzz within the city where I am right now. And the long-term goal is to eventually build a campus and teach real-life classes like how to write taxes, or how to understand your taxes, or how to write a business plan, and that will be a part of the school in the campus. Have a 24-hour gymnasium, a barbershop, or clothing line. There is no limit.
Target marketing is very important today. You can't do a shotgun approach anymore. You can't just throw it out there and see what sticks. You have to know who your demographics, who you want to target. So here we have it broken up into various different zones. So Sierra Vista entails Benson, Huachuca City, Fort Huachuca, Sierra Vista, Whetstone, and Tombstone. So what you can do is you can have a different message in these different markets depending on what the market is. If you're in Sierra Vista, which is more affluent, you can have a message there saying that. In Bisbee, which is more eclectic, I call it Baby Berkeley, Bisbee, you can have a message that's more eclectic, whatever, different. And then Douglas was heavily Hispanic, make it target to the Hispanic market and have it with a Hispanic flair. So you can actually segregate the markets, so you don't have, and you can have different messages. So that's the good thing about cable.
The idea for Surefire Youth came from my mother, and she planted the seed in me early on, and to have respect, to develop wisdom, to have self-esteem, self-determination, to learn about my heritage, to have faith, to have courage, to get involved, and to be a leader, not only for myself, but for my peers, for my family, for my children. And she initially planted that seed, but my whole family has a crazy sense of humor. So, we always crack jokes on each other or tell funny stories, and we have a good bond between us all.
The other thing is sports. Sports is very important if you want to get your product out there, because most people watch sports live. Do not DVR sports. Sports program is the original form of reality-based entertainment. It's always different. When you watch it, sports, you want to know what the outcome is going to be, because the outcome is never the same. So just like reality TV, you're looking at what's going on and you say, hey, what's going to happen to so-and-so? Elevate your brand. If you're branded against one of the sports programming, that elevates your brand. Whatever you have there, if you want to put it against one of the Suns games, or you want to put it with the Diamondbacks, you can do that. Here's the thing: 90% of viewing in sports or in cable is still live. Only 9% DVR, because you don't want to know what the score is afterwards. It's old news after that.
Well, I signed up to develop a team, to develop a mastermind alliance. And I really enjoyed the energy that was provided by the guys, the vibe of the people involved. And I would like to network and produce a better business plan and polish my pitch. I would like to polish my whole business performance and my presentations.
Now, let me get the difference between broadcast and cable, because a lot of people sometimes get that mixed up. Broadcast are your NBC, CBS, ABCs. Those are your broadcast channels. We do not insert on those channels. Those are independent network stations. And broadcast means just what it says, broadcast. It puts it out everywhere. So wherever the signal is going, that is getting there. So a lot of times when you have cable and satellite, you'll see those commercials from Tucson on there. They're always talking about Tucson. And also you get Tucson News. We don't have, Sierra Vista doesn't have their own news stations. But that's what you get a lot of. And Tucson knows that a lot of Sierra Vistans go to Tucson for products. So you'll see commercials for flooring. You'll see commercials for homes and things, other service and products, because they know that people, their influencers know they'll go up to Tucson. But the reverse does not happen that often. Most people, if you advertise in Tucson, they're not coming down to Sierra Vista, unless you have something that's very compelling. Now we have a couple of businesses that do that, like RV City. The RV City in Huachuca City, they advertise with us, and they advertise heavily in Tucson. Cochise Motorsports, they advertise heavily in there, because they have large facilities and their product has a larger range, group range to reach to, and they're high-end ticket items, which you hear. Now, if you have something that's unique that you think that really can No, not think, that you know, that you know that can attract a larger group or a higher influence, then we can put you there in Tucson.
The Small Business Development Center, I believe, will help me polish my pitch, will help me refine my business plan, and overall just help me to become a pillar in the community so that I can help others and possibly provide jobs for others.
The other thing, as far as we're in a multi-screen world, we spend almost 10 hours per day watching some kind of screen, whether it's TV, whether it's a tablet, whether it's a smartphone, or if it's your PC. But overall, the one that has the most viewer time is TV still, the most, 4 hours, 50 minutes. Here's television, it's the most watched, 4.1%, internet, actually it's mobile phones, 2.5 smartphones. Then you have the internet, you have the radio, you have newspaper, tablet, magazines. And the most persuasive, still TV. The most influential, it's TV. But any of these mediums, depending on what your market, your target demographics are, you should really drill down, find out what it is, and then choose the medium that is right for your client or for your customer, the customer you're trying to reach.
I will market my business through word of mouth, through newspapers, through TV, through social media, and also radio.
I always tell about the story back in the 80s where there was a competition, Coke and Pepsi. Coke decided in the 80s to say, hey, you know what? We've been marketing for a long time. We're known all over the world. We don't need to advertise. So what it is, they reduced the marketing staff. They got rid of half the marketing staff. They didn't advertise much. And Pepsi ate their lunch. So after that, they had to scramble, get back together, get the marketing staff together. Most of them had left them with Pepsi. So they had a problem. They had a problem, but it took them a while before they got gained market share again. Constantly, you have to always be constant minded. And we're in a generation now that everybody has ADD. There's not a single person here that doesn't have ADD because we're bombarded by all types of medium.
Say, as we're going, I'm finding out right now that in the classes we're actually allowing too many speakers to come in, which they've been fabulous, but we need to spend more time on just the content and the development of their plans and the development of their pitches.
Absolutely.
But we still have 3 months before this whole thing hits. So we've identified that halfway into it, and now it's going to come to a complete stop, and we're going to actually start drilling down on more one-on-one stuff and more one-on-one back to the basics. Because especially I found out when I asked these pitches, and half of them didn't even have one.
Right.
That was shocking. And then after I read the ones, I can honestly say no one really had a good one.
Yeah,
You
so,
know.
I mean, if they have no expectations, that's a little easier to work.
Yeah.
They do need to be prepared when they get up there.
Yeah, and there's a couple, they just wanted to go through it just to do a marketing plan. That was it.
Yeah.
They just wanted to do a marketing plan.
Which one was this?
The lady that does the face mask
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
You know, she just wants a marketing plan. That was her. Doesn't need any money. Maybe would like some help. And I just left her today. She's doing exactly what she needs to do.
What's Buddies?
Oh, this.
We know that you guys are going to be barraged by media salespeople almost every day as soon as you open your business, okay? It happens.
Yes.
Me and John are those people. Josh is that person. That's what we do. We come to you, we try to find out what you need, and we try to fill that need. However, sometimes you are going to find out that salespeople are trying to sell you things to fix their problems, not yours. Okay? We all have budgets to hit. That's what's going to happen. That's just the honest truth. Can we be honest for a minute? Everybody cool with that? So, to be successful in the business world, you don't have ad dollars to waste. Okay, guys? It's plain and simple. You guys are new entrepreneurs. When you guys get started, you're not going to have a lot of money. You need to make sure that money's going to the right place. You can't afford the trial and error method, right? So you're going to be like, what I hear? Shotgun effect. Oh, let's put a little money here, see if it works, a little money here. You guys don't have time to do that. You don't have money to do that. So our mission and our goal, all of us up here, is to help you get a return on your investment, whatever it be, okay?
Well, it was a puppet I called Uncle Matt. I found at a yard sale.
All right.
It was just a regular, it was already built, already put together puppet. And I put it on, and as a kid, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just kind of playing with it, just joking around, imaginary scenarios and stuff.
Marketing your business. The goal is to increase market share, have people buy your product or service, and shop you first. Does that make sense? When you have top of mind awareness, that's people thinking of you. Where do you go to first for information? Anybody? You need somebody to come fix your plumbing. Where do you go?
Go to the Google.
Incorrect. The first place you go is your head. The first person you think of is usually the first person you buy from. Give me a plumber in town. Mr. Fix-It. Boom. Huge ad campaign. Does he do, John, does he do stuff with you?
No, he doesn't do anything.
Okay. So I was just asking. It wasn't a dig. Wasn't a dig, man. So, Mr. Fix-It, obviously, they have a huge business here in town, right? But you think of them first. So where do you go next? Then you go to Google. Then you go to the Yellow Pages. Then you find that number, right? That's how marketing works.
And then I lost it, or it got, I think it got like rained on or something and got all moldy, so we had to throw it away. And we went to Charleston, South Carolina, and there was another puppet that looked just like the Uncle Matt puppet. And I was like, Mom, please, can we get this puppet? And she agreed, she bought it, and I put it on. And my brother, I was sitting in the front seat, my brother was sitting in the back seat, and I was just manipulating it over my shoulder. But he was like tearing up, like laughing so hard. He was like, oh my God, it's so funny. Like, everything you're doing is just hilarious. And he was just like side-splitting laughter.
So, your reach, talk to as many consumers as your budget would allow. The frequency, how often you can talk to them, right? And then the message. That's the biggest part, guys. It doesn't matter if you put $100,000 on cable, $100,000 on radio, $100,000 into social media. It doesn't matter if the message is not compelling. If you don't give a person a reason to come see you, you just waste all that money. Okay, Google put out a study that says if you have a passive media, you have to have an intrusive media. Okay, you got a website, great idea, right? Nobody's gonna know where to find it. You gotta have something that's hitting them, whether it be television commercial, a radio ad, something that's getting in front of them. An intrusive media. You can't get away from this, guys. We're in your car. You're listening to the radio, boom, commercial. Guess what? It's there.
He was like, man, it just looks so real. So that's when my mom was like, hey, you should do it for my youth.
Right.
And then I did it for her people, and then I started doing it on my own. And people recognized, and they said, man, you're doing good. So they started buying me puppets, and they started, like, whenever they would go somewhere or to a flea market or to the swap meets,
Right.
they would see puppets and they think of me and they buy it and bring it back, and I just would manipulate it on the spot. And they would say, man, you got something going. So it kind of dawned on me then.
So now, where do you decide to put your money with so many choices? Who do you target and how do you stack the deck in your favor? We're gonna talk a little bit about it. Radio, TV, newspaper. A radio station is equal to a TV program. Make sense? Is equal to a newspaper section, right? A lot of times you hear, oh, I buy the paper for the obituary, right? Oh, I listen to country music. Oh, I watch The Walking Dead, right? Nobody says, hey, I'm gonna turn on CBS and watch CBS all day, right? It doesn't usually happen. You watch different shows, right? Okay? People have a favorite radio station, they have favorite TV programs, favorite sections of the newspaper, and all of us offer some sort of digital marketing. John offers digital marketing, we offer digital marketing, as does the paper, right? They have a digital copy. So, consumers spend more time with radio, however, than any other medium. 65% of media usage time is with radio. You're in your car, you're driving around, 65% of the time you're with us. And it's still the most effective medium for building frequency because you're in your car the most. We can put those ads in right then and there in the drive times, right? Make sense?
And then I had a guy named Donald Smalls. He bought me a PA system.
Okay.
And he said, man, you a superstar, man. You doing your thing. And he kind of planted that seed. And then my mom, she already planted the seed. So I always had people saying, this is a good thing. We like what you're doing. Keep going.
Right.
And before I joined, I started going to the schools and talking to the principals and talking to the teachers, the guidance counselors about what it is, what are their needs. You know, do they have behavioral issues or do they have issues with the students? Let me come and talk to them about those problems and see if we can, you know, get these kids on the right path.
Right.
And it just snowballed from there.
And so the whole idea of the filming of this thing is to document what we're doing. And also it's going to help the people that are doing presentations, because a heavy piece of this relies on how you present something. And anytime you see yourself present through film, you're going to learn something. And so it's just a win-win all the way around.